It's time for Talking Shit. Welcome to another edition of Talking Shit. Hi, I'm DeAndre. It's September the 23rd, 2013. And guess who's in the studio tonight? None other than Robert D. Robert D is here with me again. Hi, Robert.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm good. I got you in a shorter chair so I can feel like I'm really here. Robert's real tall. And it's good to have Robert here. It's always a treat and a special shout out to the people that have helped Robert help them, and we'll talk about some of those people and some of that stuff tonight. But I just want to thank Robert for showing up whenever we ask Robert to participate in our little showgram here. He always says yes and when, and that's good stuff. Robert, let's get right into it because we got an event coming up pretty quick here on September the 26th. Can you explain it to us? What's it called?
It's called Making the Dream Come True, and it's an event for Hispanic Heritage Month. It's going to be on September the 26th, which is this Thursday from 1 to 2:30 p.m. And this event is a collaboration with the program that I work with, social justice program, but also the graduation initiative, and AHEAD, which is a student org on campus. It's called Achieving Higher Education for All Dreamers. And the purpose of the event is to highlight the DREAM Act and legislation surrounding it. So it's a panel event, so we're going to have a number of panel participants talking about different perspectives under that umbrella of the DREAM Act, including MALDEF, which is a Latino civil rights legal group. Another organization that's going to be participating is Puente, which is People United to enrich the neighborhood through education.
And also to continue to overpower the U.S. government and not vote for any Republicans ever. No, I'm just kidding. That's an outside issue. Incidentally, this is going to be held at El Camino College. They thought they got rid of his ass. But you're back over at El Camino. I'm really excited about what this is turning into for you as well as the community, and I'm sure you want to put community first. And I'm also happy about hearing some of these Hispanic organizations sort of rallying around the idea that we need to do something about education in this state, let alone country. And the DREAM Act, where did that all come from? In spite of some of the really wicked stuff that's going on with our school systems here in the state of California, the DREAM Act, is that something that's going on nationwide? Because I heard even Mark Zuckerberg, the guy who runs Facebook, he's really into the DREAM Act legislation. He's all over this stuff. Mm-hmm. He's really excited about it. He's traveling all over the country. So I'm assuming that this isn't just something that's going to deal with the problems with the education system here in California alone. We're talking about a sort of a nationwide thing, or
right. I'm not an expert
right
on the topic of the DREAM Act, but I do have some understanding of it, which is that the DREAM Act is a pathway to citizenship for young, undocumented individuals living in the United States
who are going to school, who aren't not
school.
Running in the streets and
right.
being, fitting the stereotype and the prejudices of those who don't believe these people deserve a pathway to citizenship.
Right. So basically they have to graduate through high school, they have to go into higher education, and then once they get into 2 years of higher education, then they get a temporary citizenship, and then once they graduate with a degree, then they're eligible for full citizenship.
That's pretty interesting. Moving right along, is there anything else going on?
Yeah, there's actually a few other things that I wanted to talk about for the social justice program really briefly. We have a number of other things that we're planning. We have Stop Genocide Now coming on October the 21st to do Camp Darfur, which is this really large installation that's interactive to kind of highlight different instances of genocide throughout history and currently. And another project that we have working on is with LA Radical Women. We don't have a date set But it's basically they're going to come and do a presentation on the Free Marissa Now campaign, which is the woman in Florida who shot in the air, and she got like 20 years in prison. And this was around the same time as the Zimmerman
that's
case.
That's an event that our one of our friends, Patty, was talking to us about on one of our Talking Shit episodes. She did not like that. That was bad. Why did they do that to that lady?
Because she's black.
She is a black woman?
She's a black woman.
Oh, I don't know. Oh, that explains everything.
If it's all right, I mean, I would like to talk about something that's completely different.
Okay.
That I'm doing over at Dominguez Hills.
Okay, here we go.
I've been working with SQE, which is Students for Quality Education, which is a student organization present at 16 of the CSU campuses in California.
So basically, is this a part of also trying to deal with student debt and course cuts and the things that really drag out people's positive energy to actually do public education or go get a higher education? It almost seems like a burden. So what's the name of this organization again?
It's called Students for Quality Education.
Right. I'm really proud of you for doing that. I really see sort of a liquor store mentality toward educating people with some of these weird little things that are going on with school.
Right.
It's kind of sad.
And educated people are dangerous people.
Right.
So there's a lot of that going on, and just these banking institutions that want to see, public education defunded so that students have to take out increased debt, which student debt is surpassed $1 trillion, and unlike any other kind of debt, it's unforgivable. You can declare bankruptcy and you can't escape it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And a lot of students are graduating from college with all this debt, and they can't get a job.
I haven't graduated college yet, and I still owe over $4,000 in student debt. And it's crazy. I don't have that kind of money. I gotta call Mitt Romney. Hey Mitt, can you help us out? No, I'm just kidding. What's the difference between these two organizations?
The social justice program is an education program, which exists to educate people on how to be more empathetic, to raise consciousness, and to promote social justice, but not on any particular issue. It's more broad. Students for Quality Education is grassroots. It's a grassroots organization, which it's kind of a little bit of a troublemaking organization for educational decision makers.
What I want to talk to you about one other thing, because we're completely out of time according to the powers that be here. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about this Congress. I have a video up on our Facebook page that I recorded several months ago, and it's just I want to, and I know that you and Robert is clearly not a Republican nor a Democrat, and so I have to argue with him sometimes just for the fuck of it. But I really am sort of upset with this idea that we are fed through the regular old-fashioned media that somehow this government is on the verge of, shutting down. They're going to shut down the government. That because Barack won't do certain things and they don't agree with what the Obamacare thing is, that we're going to hold the government hostage, is going to be shut down. I don't even care about that part of the argument. My part of the argument is that this government is already shut down. They're doing nothing, right? They're getting nothing done, okay? So I don't believe that how fast or slow they argue about shit is productive government. I don't think that the government is even running right now. And that includes the executive branch, who I've kissed ass to. I love Barack, but I just feel that the whole system is not doing anything. So to tell me that the government is about to be shut down is somewhat mythological, isn't it? Because they're not doing anything. I watched C-SPAN all day yesterday, and they were kind of doing what I was doing, which is eating and watching them. They're not doing anything. What are they doing? They're arguing about stuff that they don't want to do, that they're not going to get done. So the only part of the government that's really going to be on hold is mailing out those Social Security checks and fucking over those innocent children who need food because they've taken $40 billion out of the SNAP program for food stamps. I mean, they've really kind of mastered that aspect of the government. But all the other functional stuff that they need to be held accountable for to physically do their work, they're not doing anything.
I totally agree. It just seems like, I don't know, it just seems like a show. Like
Right.
I'm watching some type of performance, and it's just like all the characters involved, they're competing for, trying to be the lead actor, you know what I mean?
Right.
Role play, and there's like all these different like shows happening all at once, and it's kind of chaotic.
Have you ever noticed too on C-SPAN when they're covering like sessions of Congress, whether it's the House or the Senate, they never turn the camera around to see, so we can see like what the other people are doing. that people are just sort of standing there saying all those things. It's almost like they're rehearsing for a monologue at Saturday Night Live or something. There's not a real
Videotape confessional.
It just seems like a joke to me. I mean, at least when the House, when the MPs in Europe, I was talking to One Third Ninja, our new friend from England, at least they yell and they throw shit and they really get into the theater of it, because that's kind of what it is. And in our country, it just seems sort of like a kind of kabuki theater.
Well, everything is a spin.
Right.
Everything is spinned. Everything is spinned.
Right.
Even shit that doesn't need to be spinned is
Right,
spinned,
right.
just to cause confusion and
Right.
manipulate people into a particular person or group's agenda.
Yeah, and
Everything
make
is
a-
spinned. So where's the truth?
Right.
How do you sift through it?
Yeah, and it's like, make sure you vote for me next time, because I ain't doing shit right now.
And once you do, I ain't gonna do shit for you.
And it's really kind of pathetic. I really encourage all of you out there to write your congressman and let them know that you're watching them every day and not get shit done, and you're not afraid that the, quote, government is going to be shut down, because we're used to the government being closed anyway. I mean, so this idea that the government is shut down is ridiculous. Anyway, that's all the time we have. I just want to mention one more time, we're talking about the Making the Dream Come True speaker panel event over at El Camino College on September the 26th, which is this Thursday, from 1 to 2:30 p.m. Robert is going to be kind of sort of like the master of ceremony over there. Robert is a good friend of Talking Shit. We appreciate him. And this week we have a surprise guest visitor that's going to be joining Robert on a panel of discussion on some of the issues that we close this show with today. That's all the time we have for now. Thanks for joining us.